subbing for RJ, and clearly I'm off my game. Okay, so the second thing on the agenda, since we've established the quorum, is to administer the oath. Are you intending to speak, I assume?
I sure can.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing as you know it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so... Anyway, we took it. Disposition of minutes. We have minutes to dispose of for Thursday, May 21st, and for Thursday, May 2nd. 7th, yes, thank you. All right.
I was absent on May 7th, so I would have to abstain.
Okay.
I don't know, does Meredith?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, then we'll just roll until next time. How about May 21st?
I'm sorry, I reversed that.
What?
I was absent on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
I would move approval of the May 7th. I gave some edits to Shar that she incorporated with just some grammatical edits.
Okay.
So I moved to approve the May 21st.
I thank you for
Or May
improving my
7th.
grammar.
Wow.
Sometime in May. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All three of us. The 21st, we have an inadequate number. Maybe if RJ comes in time, we can approve them, or else we'll roll it till the next time. We have one case on the agenda, 1511, and Tom Parfit asks to abandon the Pioneer subdivision. And John, you want to take it away?
Yes, this is the Pioneer subdivision. It was originally called the Valley, Valley Acre subdivision. An ordinance was granted on this in 1977, I believe it was. So therefore, I felt it was best in reading through the code that we just kind of do the reverse order and repeal the ordinance. The request is to abandon the old Pioneer Trailer Park and make the lot back to the way it was as one large parcel prior to the subdivision. As you can see in the stuff that I gave you, the survey in there for the new plat is included along with the description, and letters from the commissioners and from the utilities, et cetera, that state that everything was private, none of it was public, so therefore it doesn't need any requirements from them. And according to our code, 210305, it's combining entire existing tax parcels, replat, subdivision vacations, which is what this is, plat of streets, common open spaces, and easements for public utilities. Under letter C, proposals of subdivision abandonment, platting of street openings, widenings, and extensions, platting of open spaces for common use by owners, occupants, or leaseholders, and easements for the extension and maintenance of public sewer, storm drainage, or other public shall have the same plat requirements as stated in section 2103, and it says 1-4. But if you go with the word same plat requirements, the plat requirements is 210304. So I believe this is a typo in our code. And when you go to 210304, it's the administrative procedure and approval for a minor subdivision, which is in essence, that's what this is, since we're going back to making it one parcel. It's not a major anymore because it's one parcel. So therefore, a recommendation is set forth by planning commission to send to council. Then council will have to do the readings to have the original ordinance from 1977 repealed and the plat go back, or the land go back to one large parcel. So.
Well, I have to ask, at 210314, it says, any plan within 300 feet of the center line of a state highway for which changes are proposed.
I understand that, but it says shall have the same plat requirements as stated in section 2103. 210314 is not talking about plat requirements. So that's why I believe it's a typo.
But why wouldn't this not still be considered?
I'm not saying it maybe shouldn't be.
I mean, maybe not.
I think maybe it should be. But it shouldn't be when it says when same plat requirements, not on a ban. Right.
If you read the reason for that is if the state highway patrol or the state highway director notifies the planning commission that he shall proceed to acquire the land needed, the planning commission shall refuse to approve the plan. So if you had a vacant tract, if you had this abandoned, if this reverts to one piece, and then they came forward and wanted to subdivide, that's notifying the state highway that there's a subdivision here. And so if the state highway needs some of that real estate that you should take it now before a subdivision is built, because once you've built homes on a subdivision, then your takings is considerably more expensive and more cumbersome. So if we're reverting back to a single parcel that's cleared and undeveloped, it's only at the point of development occurring that the highway patrol or the state highway would need to be notified. At least that's how I'm interpreting
Right.
Paula.
We talked about this in the office, and that's exactly right, because, like I said, the same plat requirements as stated.
Right.
And so basically, it's referring back to what the administrative procedures for a minor subdivision are, and that's what the packet is included. If this were an application, if the applicants were to come back in 6 months from now and want to break this into 5 parcels, which then makes it a major subdivision, then yes, we would have to follow 210314, where the Ohio Department of Transportation is notified.
I would just contend that this is a change to a plan.
It is, but it's now a minor. Notifying the ODOT is not a requirement for a subdivision application on a minor subdivision. They're making this into a minor. We're repealing the original subdivision plat from 1977. So therefore, if they wanted to do a major subdivision plat, so Mr. Parfit can speak if he wishes about what the proposed use is down the road, but if they were to come in and say, we want to put another subdivision here and split it up for 6 houses or whatever, then it's a major subdivision, and we would and then have to go through the major subdivision plat approval. Then that would have to be one of the steps. But since this is reverting back to a minor, this is not a requirement for a minor subdivision to notify ODOT. A major is, but a minor is not.
At this point, we don't have any plans on it. I mean, if we did, we would go through and try to get rid of it. What happens is, I don't know how many there are on there, but there's probably...
You want to go up there, Tom?
Oh, okay. There's I don't know how many lots are on there. Is there 42 or something like that?
Yeah.
But basically, we get 42 tax parcels. And so what we decided to do, what happened was we bought this as a trailer park, and we really tried to make it work for the people that had the trailers there. But the infrastructure was so bad, the water lines and everything, it just didn't work. We were getting water bills of $25,000 a month. And unfortunately, the type of people that had lived there for so long, they just let water run constantly on their hoses or whatever. So we worked with them very diligently for about 2 years, and we finally got to said, well, we're going to have to close it down. And what we did was we worked with the tenants there and either found them another place to move their trailers if they could be moved. The other people, we bought their trailers and recycled them and cleaned it up. It was a mess when we bought it, and it's much better now. If anybody drives by there, you'll see it's remarkably different. Besides having the police there daily, it just didn't work out. So we've got, I don't know how many parcels, 42 parcels or something down there. We want to get rid of those parcels and just get it to be raw land. We have no reason to subdivide it. If we did, we wouldn't go through trying to get rid of it. We have had a couple of people that are looking for some acreage to build a church and some other things. We may work with them. Just nothing set in stone with them. But our goal was, after we talked to John, what we had to go through was to get rid of the subdivision, and that's what we're trying to do.
I recognize that you were also victims of the derecho that occurred. And
I'm sorry?
you were also victims of the natural disaster, the derecho.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There was a lot of really, really nice trees that got just toppled. And we had a crew in there for about 6 months cleaning up and had bobcats and trash there. But we really wanted it to work as a trailer park. That's the reason we bought it, but it just didn't work.
Actually, they were hit by the tornado that hit the high school in September.
Well, that's what I called it,
Yeah,
derecho,
yeah.
but you're right. There was 2 different things. That
But
was
it
straight
does
line
look a lot
land.
better. We still got a little bit more cleaning up to do, but it's a very nice piece of property. The nice thing is it's right next to the bike path. And, I think people probably feel a little more safe riding on the bike path now that those trailers aren't there, to be honest with you.
Would a future use come back to this?
No, not if it's on a single lot. If they wanted to make it a major subdivision, meaning 5 lots or more.
I
then yes,
don't
it would
see
come
that
back
happening, to be honest with you. But
Or a minor lot split. That's true. Even a minor lot split would come back to here as well, unless both parcels were greater than 5 acres. So if they were to do 12 acres there, I believe, if they were split at 6
yeah,
and
there's
6.
12 acres there.
If they were split at 6 and 6, it would not come back through here. So
I do know Brent called a couple of years ago
wanna ask?
asking about whether or not there'd be an interest for the farmer's market.
Yeah, we thought it would be a really nice place for the farmers market with the road frontage and everything they've had. But we're actually working with them and Athens Foundation right now. We're getting a little bit closer to be able to maybe find them a permanent spot. We're sure hoping to. As it turns out now, it's working out very well for them. We do have some of the tenants in the mall that are a little bit grumpy because the parking's so bad on Saturday, but other than that, it's working good for them. And then we let them go inside, as you know, in the wintertime, which works out good. But it would be nice if they had their own structure, that had some infrastructure, that had an open air facility, and I think it's going to happen.
Do you have any questions?
About the vacating of the subdivision? No.
Yes. I'm going to ask Christy already. All right, I have a question then. I want to know about as I read this over, I was lines remaining. If it were to be developed, they'd have to move them, and then I guess it's pretty unclear, but the gas company is going to let them stay in the ground. Are they all?
Let me address that, because Bill Allen, who's the local division, I don't know what his actual title is.
Field operations leader.
Okay, there we go. He's.
I have it on.
We worked with him quite a bit. He's actually a personal friend of mine. But we're going to go in, and they want to take out. There are some lines in there where they went to the specific trailers. He's going to go in as soon as we get done with this and take them all out.
Okay.
He's going to leave the main line in, but all the stuff that's been put in that went to the trailers is going to come out. They want them out, and they want the meters and everything out, because that's going to tickle them to death. He calls me daily to know whether he can get his people in there and get that done.
Okay.
So that's going to happen very soon.
Okay. I was concerned that it sounds in his letter like he was going to leave them there until he knew what
He's going to
happened.
leave the main line that comes on the
The
road.
main
But
line
all the other
different.
stuff's coming out.
Good.
Yeah.
The
so
laterals.
it should just be a field.
The laterals. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my concern. All right.
Just back to one more question, and I apologize. Tried to find, in terms of process, a proposed use for this site being, having the access to the highway. Does the state highway have any input in that?
It's outside city limits. We don't have any input on that.
And you did mention the county commissioners. I only see an Athens Township letter that
Did
says
I say
that.
county commissioner? I mentioned county.
Yeah, I actually
Sorry.
talked to Teddy Linscott when we started this, because we didn't know for sure. We were concerned, John was concerned whether or not these roads were in their plan of, cleaning. And he went back, and they have to report, what he's telling me, they have to report every year to the state what roads they have to clean. This isn't even on their, it's not even on their, he didn't know anything about it.
I meant to say township. If I said county, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I also think it might be a little tricky because left turns will be a
They're prohibited
problem.
now.
Prohibited now.
Yeah,
but
and
you're going to have to turn right out of there. Yeah, for
And
sure.
so it certainly will change the
Yeah, that
value.
limits a lot of use.
Okay. Well, that's good. And how much flood?
Probably a
Potential.
third of the lot when I pulled it up, running along the bike path. The part along River Road is actually
Yeah, and part of that's in the flood
all in the floodplain, none in the flood.
plain. Yeah, the flood plain's down towards the bike path. That's in the flood plain, but the bike path goes right next to it.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? The motion to adopt this, abandon this?
Well, I
parcel?
think it's a recommendation to council.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's actually voted on. It's vote on a recommendation before.
Okay, we will, somebody want to make a motion to
I'll move
that?
that we recommend to City Council to abandon the subdivision, the Pioneer subdivision, according to case number 1511. Sorry.
Second? A second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. It's done. Well, you'll get a letter from Charlene, I believe.
I think we got to go next to the city council.
I did copy Debbie Welker on it, so it could possibly be on committee Monday evening, even if they're already.
Jeff?
What's-
Yes?
Thursday?
Well, I'm finance.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Chris
Your
Paul.
your
We'll
assistant.
follow the
I'm
recommendation
only
of Chris Paul.
vice chair of planning and development.
Okay.
I do nothing.
I
Okay,
think we
thank
can
you.
So you can type that
Thank
in.
you.
Debbie, how's that?
So now we have a moment, we can return to the minutes of May 21st and see if there are any issues with that. It's relatively short.
Oh. This one.
Paula can't vote because she was absent. She could just vote that they're very nice minutes.
They're very nice minutes. A little second of them.
Every word, very grammatically correct.
Okay, I would move that we accept the minutes of May 21st.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Just well paid.
What?
Nancy just well paid.
Okay. It passes 3, 1 abstention, 1 arrival, safe.
One abstention and one arrival.
Okay, report from the city planner and director
Oh, am I stepping on it? I'm sorry.
of development, deaf.
Deaf.
I've heard people say that about some of us. Not necessarily him.
Are we skipping communications?
Do we have any
Are
communication?
there any communications?
No. Do you have communications?
I
Charlie,
think the
do you
only
have
thing is, when is the
communications?
next CDBG second hearing for the allocation money?
June 15th, okay. And that'll be at City Council chambers, 7 o'clock.
So that is communicated. All right. Paul, you can run, but you can't hide. Let's go.
I'm working with some members from the Historic Preservation Commission and a couple volunteers. Over the next few weeks, we'll be doing updating of our historic preservation inventory forms with the state. So you may see some people walking around town, especially in the Uptown District, taking photographs and jotting down some notes about some of our buildings. We started this yesterday. I think we've got about 200 buildings that we need to inventory. This isn't a registration process, it's just updating who owns what and what changes have occurred since they were last documented back in like 1981 or 87. To just itemize any of those significant impacts or changes, and then what businesses might be in there now versus what were in there years ago, so that all of our information is as current as possible. So that's going on right now, weather permitting. The Historic Preservation Commission is also working this weekend on Sunday. There's a presentation seminar at the Ridges relating to the Athens Asylum. The Historical Society is organizing that. I believe it's from 10 a.m. to 3. There's a message in today, or article in today's Athens News about it, as well as I think in the Post. It is a free event. Lunch is provided as long as you give an RSVP. So they have a head count, and they've got guest speakers and a tour of the Ridges. Ohio University's Ridges planners are going to be presenting. Catherine Ziff, who wrote recently had a book published about the history of the asylum. She'll be giving a presentation, I think a few others. So that should be an interesting afternoon if anybody is free. The only other major thing I have to report is that I mentioned at the last meeting, we had an RFP or an RFQ out there for a market study and a use study for the Armory. The deadline for submittals on the RFQ was Tuesday, and so we'll be working to review the RFQs and then try to make a decision here in about within the next week or week and a half.
The Director Paskey. I don't know what DEF stands for. If it had an A in it,
Development
I could.
Enforcement and Facilities.
Too cryptic.
Have to remember that. I don't have anything to report, and actually don't have any cases coming up for the next agenda. At this point, I think it would be too late to get something on the agenda, even for the West Union Street,
Okay.
if they were to submit anything. So.
So